So our ceiling framing is in, and now it's time to try and start putting up the ceiling. For the ceilings, we have 12-foot tongue and groove that is 6 inches wide and half an inch thick, and we're going to be using that for the ceiling. So we're countersinking the ceiling panels because otherwise these bolts would get in the way, but instead we're making little holes for them. Pro tip, our bolts aren't exactly aligned, so we drew a little bit of permanent marker on all of them so that when we put the panel up we could tell where the bolts were, and then we used that, made a mark on the panels, and then made the little holes into them. This is a spade bit that we're using to drill into our wood a little bit and create these holes that don't go completely through, but let the bolts sit in them so that our panels sit flush on the ceiling. Ta-da! We bought 12-foot tongue and groove pieces to put as our ceiling. Right now we're making some countersink holes where our framing beams are so that when we put up our ceiling, the screws can kind of sink into them and they won't show as much. After we countersink, then we're gonna start staining the ceiling. Oh, hello, welcome. I'm staining the ceiling. This stain only needs one coat, and after that we're gonna polyurethane so that it's ready to go up into the van.
As you can see, we have a makeshift sawhorse right here. It's working out pretty well because the rest of them are in there getting cut and countersinked.
Now that they are all stained, it's time to put polyurethane on them so that they are protected from moisture and all other things. I got a triple coat one, so I should only need to put one coat of polyurethane over these boards. So now the polyurethane is dry, and we're using a hole saw to drill out holes in our wood so that we can put our lights in. Ooh! Be careful with your lights, everyone. So these lights have these, and we're gonna stick them through a hole, and then boom. Look how well they fit. We are currently cutting out our ceiling panels that have the light holes in them, and we've made this little kind of rectangular hole because we are going to put it around our fan, which is in the front of our van. So this is going to hopefully fit right around the fan and then connect back up in the front. Our first ceiling panels are in and they look so good. There might be a couple spots that are just a little off with the staining, but otherwise they look great. Now we have part of the ceiling up with our lights in, so now we're working on putting insulation up behind these planks. We have the half-block wool that we're just really stuffing in between the ceiling.
Here we are about to finish the ceiling right here. As you can see for the fan, we had to cut these planks to have a hole. And over here, we wanted to keep these as one piece, so we need to fill it out right there. What we did was we measured and we cut 2 pieces so that we can just slide them in right there with the tongue and groove. Here it is up and fitting, and as you can see, it's loose right now, but there's a block back there, and I put these screw holes so we could screw them in. Voila. The Max Air fan comes with this cover that you put around the hole, and I'm measured it, and I'm gonna cut it, and I'll install it.
The ceiling is done. We have 2 holes in the front because we're gonna put 2 more lights in, but look at that, she's beautiful. If you enjoyed this video on our ceiling, make sure to follow along and subscribe for all of our van build details.